Hi, I'm Teeg Stouffer with the Microsoft No Limits Tour. I'd like to start you off by having a look at Ryan Hunter-Reay's car. Altogether, this exhibit is something that we take to college campuses and universities around America. We've been on the West Coast for the last semester, and we've been teaching students about Microsoft.NET. We're showing different applications on .NET, particularly applications as used by the Champ Car circuit. So this is Microsoft.NET as it applies to Champ Car circuit. So we've got this wonderful trailer that expands into a full-blown exhibit. It features lots of multimedia and lots of interactive opportunities for students. A student would first have a look at the car, and the car is of particular interest to mechanical engineering students and electronic engineering students. This is a Champ car, so it's part of the CART series. Students might make a first stop right over here after seeing the car, where they would see a multimedia exhibit that sort of describes what's going on at the exhibit. In a nutshell, we're taking all the data from a race in St. Petersburg, Florida. It was the first race of the season this year, and the data streams out on our server through a .NET server, and then goes to several different output devices. At this station, students can look at the code in any of the output sort of stations that we have inside the trailer. So when we go inside, we'll have a look at some of those stations. Since we're talking about how .NET is used in Champ Car racing, one of the things that we're talking about directly is Champ Car racing itself. These are some of the uniforms that Champ Car uses. We work with Danica Patrick and Ryan Hunter-Reay. They're two rookies on the Champ Car circuit, and since they're young, they're very relatable to the college students. So they're two of the drivers that we feature, and Ryan Hunter-Reay spent a lot of time with us here at Tech Ed, so a lot of people got a chance to meet him, and he had an opportunity to meet a lot of Tech Ed visitors. That was a lot of fun. Let's start off at the front of the exhibit up here. 3 output devices up here featuring .NET. The first is Virtual Car. This is a programming contest that we have with the students. This car is linked to our real-time data output as, for example, Jimmy Vasser's wheels turn in the race. On Virtual Car, you'll see his wheels turning to the left and turning to the right. The program has basic functionality. We give students the source code on a neat CD like this, and we ask them to add functionality to the program. The student who does the best job gets a behind-the-scenes trip to a race in Denver, Colorado. So it's a programming contest for students. In the Enhanced TV exhibit, we allow people to select 2 drivers from the race, and then using their telemetry data, we can do head-to-head comparisons of what those drivers are doing in the race. So this is an application of how telemetry data might come into the .NET server, be streamed back out, and how it might be used in a broadcast application. The leaderboard takes track data. There's sensors in the track and sensors in the car that keep track of what the cars are doing on the track in relation to one another. So as one car passes another, it will move itself up on the leaderboard, and the car that got passed will move down on the leaderboard. It's all automated and also uses the .NET technology. Probably the most popular part of our exhibit is the driving tester. In the driving tester, drivers mimic Jimmy Vasser, one of the drivers in the race. So unlike an Xbox game, in the driving tester, these drivers are mimicking Jimmy Vasser. And this will give a real-time output on how they're doing as compared to Jimmy Vasser in the race. So they get a feeling for what it's like to be in the cockpit of a real Champ car. At the back of the exhibit, we have our petting zoo, where you can try all kinds of neat gadgets and gizmos. And how these relate to Champ car is these things are used every day in the pit. So for example, when Ryan Hunter-Reay pulls into the pit, he might be quickly past a tablet PC that will have data that he needs, or he might be able to be shown graphical data, which is the result of telemetry data that was streamed into the pit. So they might quickly be able to pass him information. The pickers need to be able to share information as well. So they're able to share information using pocket PCs and smartphones, both of which feature Microsoft products. Another thing we're able to share with people here is the chatter. There's a lot of conversation that goes back and forth between the pits and the drivers. And all that conversation is based on the information that comes from the telemetry systems on the cars. And this is the telemetry system. So during this conversation, we've been talking about the data that comes from the cars. This is where it comes from. This is Pi Research equipment, and there's sensors that measure everything from tire pressure to oil pressure, and they use radio frequencies to radio that information back to the pit where it comes through a .NET server and is utilized. So that's where all the data is coming from. It's from the telemetry sensors. Before they leave, we have a bunch of goodies to give everybody, from copies of Champ Car racing guides to schedules to No Limit CDs and music CDs, so we make sure nobody leaves empty-handed either. So that's what we're doing with the No Limits Tour. We're glad to have been able to be here at TechAid, and we've had a great semester. We want to thank you for stopping by, and thanks for checking out Microsoft.net.